Okay, going back to a 249. I don't know anymore, dude. Let's see. 249. We're going through it. Anyways, I made a third. So, his little cupcake designs on him, and then stripes on the bottom. And you're like, hey, where? I know he has a weird nose. I did try to do an invisible seam. There's a knot there, which bothers me, so I'm gotta figure out what I want to do with that. Anyways. Can we just focus on? Okay, whatever. But yeah, so you see, this is how big they are. He's a little weird because of this fabric on the bottom. He's a little weird, but yeah, got little eyes on him, got a little cupcake. I might give this one to my dad for his birthday last year. I haven't seen him yet, so the problem is he's a little rough. His particular fabric, even though they're not holes, they look, yeah, you see, like, looks like he has a hole where he sewed him, but it's not a hole, it's just how the fabric is. So I'm like, oh. So I might make him another one, but leave extra space on all the edges. So it looks better. Because where I left edges is fine, but then it just looks like he has holes. And again, it's not. But I don't want my dad to look at it, or someone to look at it and be like, he's falling apart. I'm like, no, he isn't. Even if they were non-sewn pieces right there, they're not falling apart. So I might do it again, but leave extra edges. The top isn't bad. Makes me think it's this bottom part. So that really is doing it. So I think I would cut this part bigger, this bottom part a little bit bigger, than I need to. Also, I got 2 D batteries, put them in my machine. It runs, so I am excited. I'm gonna first do it on a mask, because A, masks. B, I got distracted because I realized I had laundry upstairs I have to put away before I go to bed. B, it's a pretty, like, straight line, kind of curve line. Like, it's not the worst. Like, this would be impossible for me to try to get in there because they're just so small. If I sized this up quite a lot, kind of intrigued to do it. Only issue is each piece, the biggest for me, could be the size of a piece of paper. So I think I would have to print this one out first, see how big this is, but then have to try to make these the same exact size. And I think trying to do that would be pretty hard. But I can try making them bigger, but even then, I don't think they're big enough to be put on a machine that I don't know how to work. Or a machine in general. They're very tiny. But it takes me around an hour to make. From start to finish, like, no pieces of paper, like, no fabric, nothing. I was also always watching TV or doing stuff, so I don't know. I think it's around an hour. I don't know. But I might give this one to my dad, or a better one. Like a round 2 of this. But I think the cupcakes are really cute. It was also something about it was surprisingly harder to do because of the black fabric. I can't remember what it was, but there was something weird about it. I don't know. But I also know these stripes. I wanted to try to perfectly cut him down the center, and obviously as you stuffed him, like, the lines are wonky, which I knew would happen, but I was just terrified that it would just be a completely mess with the lines on the bottom, but I don't think it is. I like that this way, because I was debating, this, like, horizontal lines, like, this way, instead of these vertical lines, but I decided to go this way. So, I like it, I like him. Not too bad, not too shabby. For my third ever pattern, ever, I never made anything with a pattern. I have only ever sewn on buttons or sewn holes in clothing. I have never, ever done a pattern. So, third time ever using a pattern, and third time making a frog. Right here, I think is a pretty dang rough, because I sewn over it, because there was an actual hole. And I guess I got too close to the edge, and it just wasn't close enough stitch. So too close and not tight enough stitch. That could have probably been a problem. Also, I think if I doubled closeness of each stitch, I think it really could have helped. But it started getting like bigger stitches in between, and I think what I really need to do is like make them really tiny little stitches. Yeah. The best part is I didn't need to go out for supplies for this when I've been meaning to do an embroidering project I really wanted to do, but my embroidery project, I need to go out and get stuff, and we haven't done it yet. So, but we might actually go out tomorrow, so we'll see. I'm not going to do a video in advance, and if I skip it, which I would also really hate, I'm just going to watch another video at the end of the year, like 3 videos up, but I don't really want to do that, because right now I'm going to watch 2 at a time. I do not want to watch 3, but more importantly, I don't want to miss one. So close to the end. 118 days left. I don't want to miss one. So, maybe I should do it a day in advance. I don't know, we'll see. But, yeah, it's really hard because I wanted to get it that it's a cupcake, but it was really hard to do that with, these patterns, like this, right here, because I didn't want it to be cut off and you couldn't tell what it is, like, because like I think a wider base and stuff. I think what I could have done is move it forward and had more black on this end and have it slightly turned one way or another so it doesn't look so perfectly lined up. I think it's a little too perfectly lined up on the side. I think this side's pretty fun. I think you can still kind of tell it's a cupcake. Even though a lot of the bits here are cut off and the top is kind of cut off. But these are really cute. I really like, these were a pair of shorts I bought in middle school. Like a lot of these, bought them in middle school, and they were falling apart too. And they were also like 2 sizes too big because I bought it in a tank top pants set, and I got it and the pants were not the right size, but I checked. I didn't think someone switched them. They did. So I got a way too larger pants. like shorts, and I didn't like them. I didn't wear them for a while, but I didn't want to give them away because they were worn in a lot. And then this came from a sleep dress shirt that had lace on the shoulders, which you guys actually saw me wear before. I love the pattern, or like this pattern of it, but it, I think, would have helped me a lot more in making things and patching things and doing things like that, instead of me trying to fix it as a dress, like a sleep dress. Because I don't know what I would have put with it. I probably actually could have used these shorts and tried to attach it, but as you can see, with the holes here, or the holes with the fraying look around it, it's also not very easy to sew, so I don't know. And it's too late. I cut a hole in it to do it like this, so I need to sew some stuff with it, or else I should feel really bad. But with my little sewing machine, I can fix this jacket that's here that I'm very excited to sew up, and then I can also sew all my little sewing projects I've been having laying around. I have quite a few just lined up, because hand sewing it would take forever to do. With a machine, those things would be minutes. So it's like, yay. One of his hands are also smaller than the other. Like, that's big, that's small, that's big, that's small. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Oh, I was thinking the other night, where my brain was thinking of the concept of faceless YouTubers and faceless like singers like Orville Peck, stuff like that, where I was thinking about it, and I'm like, where did my fascination, not fascination, like I really used to love, like, I'm just like faceless, but then also being like, kind of already had this like, oh, well, they're just human, after realizing who they are. And I'm trying to think about it, where I'm like, is it, because some people are really like, I need to know, I can't blah 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 if I don't know, where I'm like, where am I at that? And I realized that growing up, I watched The Masked Magician, who was a masked magician who would reveal all the tricks to, magicians use to do these tricks, from contortionist side, ladies, what are they called? Assistants. And why they're dressed sexily, to be distracting, so you don't look at the actual magician. How the modern day people are not even magicians anymore. They are just flair, and then it's all camera work, cut it, slap it together. Where it's just what it is. And what am I saying? Oh yeah, so anyways, but a lot of magicians hated him, because, at least that's what my dad would say, because he revealed all their secrets. And so a lot of people hated him for it. And I just remember when I was watching it, his face was not out yet. No one knew who he was. And I remember years later, he came out as the Masked Magician, and he figured out I don't remember what his name is. My sibling actually might remember, and he actually was like, yep, it's me. And I just remember going, it's just some guy. It was really interesting, because I'm like, yeah, he looks different than I thought, but he's just some guy. And I just remember kind of being like, yeah, okay. And so So I think that has taught me now as an adult, I've cooled it, because as a kid, I was very like, I need to know, I need to know, I need to know, and sometimes I get like that still, but I kind of like can let it go, like, so I'm not as much as like, oh, what does this person looks like? I'm like, I don't need to know what Twerp's face looks like. I don't need to know Oral Peck's face or Corpse's face or another big one that's faceless. Marshmallow came out with what his face looked like, right? Stuff like that. Dead Mouse. Maybe not Marshmallow then. Dead Mouse. Like, though, they're just, you don't need, I don't know. I just, for me, that's where I'm like, they're just some guy. They're just some guy. But yeah, it was, I was just thinking of The Masked Magician though, and I'm like, oh god, I wish I rewatched that. It was so good. I really loved it. And it does, from like simple, how did he pull a rabbit out of his hat, to catching a bullet in his teeth, to spinning the wheel and throwing knives, to walking through a steel container, and it was so good. Or the chainsaw coming down and cutting him in half. How did they do it? How did he cut his assistant in half? How did he impale his assistant on a stake and then have her walk away from it? It was so good. It was so good. And then again, he did bring up a lot of like, yeah, I can bring up how they made an elephant disappear, but it's all paid actors and having to be on TV. This was not something that you could have done years ago, like many years ago. This is something that's new because they have cameras now, and they can just kind of crop the sound out and have the elephant walk away as the actors pretend. And then same with, my biggest one was the Chris Angel, like, being like, I can make my blood to stop pumping to certain parts of my body, and they just had to pretend that his pulse went away, and they're like, that is impossible, and I'm just like, they're actual nurses or something, and I'm just like, okay, they're also paid, and even I knew that, but it was kind of one of those things that the Masked Magician was like, hey, yeah, those kind of people, those are all just actors. It's nothing that to reveal. I don't need to be masked to say this. This is just how it works. And it's a lot of Chris Angel stuff. It's all editing for the most part. And it was just, it got me. Like, it was like, But now the Masked Magician, he did, like, real, actual tricks. I'm like, yes. That's the stuff. Bye.